I think there is a huge opportunity here for Australia to reindustrialise in some sense. And the other big opportunity for our sector, which again goes to the regions, is in soil carbon, I think, because early studies show that soil carbon can be, one, a huge generator of carbon credits, but two, dramatically improve drought resilience, crop productivity, any number of things. And we're only really at the start of this. And the evidence suggests that, Australia's soil carbon has been depleted quite dramatically in the last 200 years through intensive farming and agriculture. But if we can, that's a huge opportunity for people in our agricultural and rural sectors to capture some of those credits from soil carbon. So they're just a few. Every country, I think, is going to be different, but we need to be very mindful of what are the new industries and jobs and sectors that will come out of this, and make sure that we're incentivizing those communities to focus on those things and less on the threats and challenges that are coming their way. It's undoubtedly in our neighbourhood a big concern for the countries of the Southwest Pacific, particularly the smaller island states of the Southwest Pacific, and they have been, to their credit, some of the most vocal voices on this debate internationally through the Pacific Islands Forum and other means. So I think that's certainly occupies Australian minds and is a concern. More broadly, though, I mean, this is obviously potentially going to have quite significant humanitarian impacts. Places like the Sahel, parts of the Middle East, Bangladesh, countries which have a lot of people that tend to practice quite marginal agriculture, which means they're quite sensitive to individual climate movements or an individual drought. I mean, even in southern Madagascar today, there's a pretty severe drought and sort of the early stages of a famine. And at least one of the causes of that is climate change, in the sense that there's more higher intensity of and higher frequency of severe weather events causing agriculture that would normally be viable not to be viable. And I think we're only really at the start of seeing some of those impacts now. And I think what necessarily follows from that, and particularly if you look at the most recent IPCC report, is that we need to be further along in the interim targets and the early targets, including 2030 and 2035, than what we initially planned to be a few years ago. So I think, the IPCC report makes clear that a higher level of ambition and a higher rate of progress is needed from all of us, and I include Australia in that.